now live streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back here, yeah. There's someone, one guy on our street.
Yeah.
You definitely hit the mark.
Yeah. Diane, is Matt on vacation?
His dad.
Is Matt on vacation?
His dad passed away.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, fine. Oh, okay.
Any of Bob, would you like to, but,
Yeah.
Good evening. I'd like to call the July meeting of the Lancaster Zoning Board of Appeals into action, and we'll start with the pledge to the flag. Okay, we have 9 cases tonight, which is a lot, but we will try to get through them as efficiently as possible. We may need to take a break in the middle. We'll see what happens. I'm going to read the cases, the addresses, so you will know approximately where you'll be called. The first case is 2 Signal Drive. The second is 201 Stony. The third is 6139 Broadway. Next is 635 Harris Hill. The fifth case is 6149 Genesee Street. Following that, 66 Village View. Number 7 is 35 Woodgate. The 8th case is 39 Sterling Place. And number 9 is 29 Kennedy Court. Okay, now I'm going to ask our town clerk, Mrs. Terranova, to take the roll, please.
Mr. Hain, Mr. Matthews.
Here.
Mr. Michaeli.
Here.
Mr. Storr.
Here.
Mr. Tillman.
Here.
Mr. Zeller.
Here.
Ms. Montesani.
Here. Okay, the way we do this is we call each address, and the representative for that property comes up and speaks to us. Please give us your name and address for the record. You can use the microphone at the podium. Then the board will ask questions, and then we'll give anyone in the audience who has an interest in the matter the opportunity to speak. We would ask that if you are speaking on a case as a concerned citizen, that you direct all of your comments and questions to the board, and we will address them with the petitioner if necessary. Okay, Diane, would you read? 16 number 1. I don't know. Why? 'Cause there's...
Because I'm assuming that's why most people are here.
Oh. Yeah, we can do that. Okay.
So I'll make a motion for it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Storr's suggestion, we are going to start with 66 Village View. Thank you.
Hi, how are you doing, guys?
Hello.
My name's Brian Fisher with 66 Village View.
Dan, legal notice. Diane has
Read the
to legal
notice.
I'm sorry.
Diane has to read the legal notice.
Of course. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, Diane, go ahead.
It's number 6.
Petitioner Brian Fisher, 12 South Sea Drive, Chickawaga, New York, for one variance for the purpose of installing a privacy fence and required front yard setback on premises owned by Deborah Ann Meyer at 66 Village View, Lancaster, New York, to wit, a variance from the requirements of Chapter 400 zoning section 34, subsection C of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for installing a 6-foot-tall privacy fence and required front yard setback. Chapter 400, zoning section 34, subsection C of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires within non-industrial districts no fence or wall other than a necessary retaining wall over 3 feet in height shall extend into the front yard of any lot. Petitioner therefore requests a 3-foot variance.
Thank you. And just for clarification, a required front yard setback refers to a side yard on a corner lot. And that's confusing. I'm sorry.
It was,
Go ahead.
no, it was confusing to me too when I was figuring this out, so appreciate the explanation. So like the variance says, we are looking to do a 6-foot privacy fence. It would start with a gate next to our garage. We have a garage door off the side of the property to the left. We want to run it down the sidewalk length, and it would then go to the neighbor's property, match up to the neighbor's property fence, and then same on the other side of the shed that we have there.
Okay. All right, and any particular reason?
So the reasoning behind it, I have 2 young kids, 4 and 9 months. We're gonna put a play set back there for them. I also have 2 large breed dogs. Just want to give them some room to run and kind of keep them secured and not running through the entire neighborhood. So as friendly as they are, I don't think everybody loves dogs. So.
All right, thank you. All right, we will move to the board, starting with Mr. Matthews.
Have you had the chance to speak with the neighbors backing up to your property adjacent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I talked to them. They already have a fence there. We talked that it would match up to theirs. He's actually here tonight, one of that neighbor. So, and then I talked to the neighbor to the right of us because it's a corner lot, so I only have one neighbor on the one side of me, and she's perfectly fine, completely understanding why we want to do it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Mr. Michaeli?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we do have variance requests similar to this often,
I'm sure.
and they're granted fairly often. The issue always becomes two things really. Making sure that there's no blocked visibility from a neighbor's driveway if there is one. I don't think that's the case here, but also just visibility for neighbors. So we do have emails, letters from 2 neighbors across the street
Yeah,
on the other side of Creekwood.
Yep.
according to this, and I think I may have been wrong in the way I was thinking about it, you would be wrapping around that corner? Would you?
So we're pretty, from where, are you talking about from the stop sign is? Or
Yeah.
from, I mean, we're pretty far from this sidewalk. I mean, it's attaching to our garage essentially, so. And we're
So
coming
this is-
we're coming 3 foot off of the sidewalk length as well.
So here's, I'm just looking at an aerial and comparing it to the survey. So, and where you marked up the survey, it would wrap around, it would wrap from the front of your garage to Creekwood, and then going to the end of the property, and wrapping around the other side. Okay, so, and no further questions for now.
Thank you, Mr. Mickley. Mr. Storr?
I have no questions at this time, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tillmans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions at this time.
Mr. Zelak?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have one question. Their side that's parallel to Creekwood, is that you have a garage, a man door there?
Yes.
Is that where the
Yes.
fence is proposed to start?
Yes, we would start it there, and there would be a gate right there on that side, and then a gate on the other side of the property. So a 4-foot gate on that side, 5-foot gate on the other side.
All right, I'm assuming you have a rear, like a patio door or something?
We do, yes.
Something in the back?
But the purpose of using the side door would be because I have 2 wet dogs, and I don't want them to stroll through the front of in the beginning of our house. So
Okay. Would you be open to reducing the side of the Creekwood side,
So
the length of it?
Yeah, so based off of the letters that you guys received, or the emails, we've been there we closed on the 1st, so technically it is our property now. So that's been fun. So we have talked about it, and we are willing to reduce the size of the fence to 4 foot on the side of that.
Yes.
If the board would prefer to go that route, but 6 is the ideal, what I would like to do, but at minimum, I would like to do 4, just because of the large stature of my dogs.
But you are willing to accommodate?
Yes,
you very
I'm trying to
much.
be a good neighbor.
Yes, thank you.
I didn't notice these ones.
No further questions, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zelak.
Can I just go one more time, please? So just to be clear, the corner of Creekwood and Village View would not have a fence?
Correct.
Okay, the fence will go from your garage
From my garage
to
backwards.
Creekwood?
Yes.
Right. So
Sorry.
if there were concerns about visibility at the corner, I think some people probably, because when they saw, and it's understandable, when they saw front yard fence.
Correct.
They think it's going in your front yard at the corner where the stop sign is. There's never going to be a sign.
There's nothing, and then it's also being set back 3 foot from the sidewalk, so there's 0 visibility issues from that side.
Yeah.
If you're making a right or a left on
Yeah.
that stop sign.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mickley. So reducing it to 4 feet, is that going to be sufficient to keep your dogs enclosed?
They'll be fine. I would prefer 6 because it just would give me the ease of mind behind it, but 4 if it appeases to the neighbors, because they just essentially want to see the greenery in my yard, so.
Right, okay. Yeah, I looked at your property and took it from the perspective of the neighbors across the Creekwood who were concerned. But I see that there is, without your fence, they're still looking at a fence a couple of doors down.
Yeah, so
It's
directly
like one
across,
door
there's
there.
a 6-foot fence, and then the neighbor behind us also has a fence. So.
Yeah. So your fence, even if it were 6 foot, would not impede much. Reading the letters, I had the impression that the whole thing was open, but it's not. There's another fence there that would obscure the same views. Okay. All right, anything else from the board? Okay. Anyone in the audience care to address this request? Come on up, sir. You can have a seat.
Sounds
Mr.
great.
Fisher.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. Okay, we'll get him back.
Because it's a fence, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, but he'd have to bring him over.
Is that not Matt? Is that Matt?
Matt's not here.
I know Matt's not here.
No, Matt's, yeah, no. No,
We don't have a
we don't have a Matt tonight.
Good evening. Would you give us your name and address, please?
Paul Gebert. I'm at 64 Village View. And I would like to deny the variance. I'm asking for that. We had our home built 20 years ago, and it was nice to see open land toward Creekwood. Putting the 6-foot fence up would kind of cut that down, make the area a little more confined. If it were a 4-foot fence, I would have absolutely no problem with that.
Okay.
So if that's the direction he is willing to go to, that's terrific.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Bird.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. There being none. Anyone from the board? Anything further?
There's a drainage easement across the back of the
I would say,
What Keith was
yes,
just saying.
yes, Madam Chair, this is a question more for other members of the board. If I'm looking at this plan right, there's a 20-foot wide drainage easement going across the back of the property. Without Matt here, I'm hoping one of you can lend some expertise to me. What's the deal with building a fence on a drainage easement? Would we need to add an addendum that it could be removed at his cost?
He has to go to,
Fence is allowed across the easement?
it is, I think he has to go to the is it DPW, not DPW, the Water Authority?
and get they're okay.
He has to go into the county.
Because
And
it's
this-
not just the easement, there's drain running across the back.
Right, and it doesn't, this survey doesn't show who the drainage easement is to, if it's to the town or the county or whomever, but whoever holds that easement would have to give permission.
That would go on the, that'll come.
And Matt will help with that when.
As long,
when
perfect,
the-
as long as that goes on the building permit and it's, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay. You can have a seat, sir. We're all,
Thank you.
We're good. All right. So, Mr. Fisher is. Yeah, come on back. Are you now asking for a 1-foot variance then for a 4-foot fence?
Sure. If it appeases my neighbors, then I don't care. Yeah.
Okay.
I just, either way, I need a fence. I have 2 dogs and I just
Yeah.
need something. So
I just want to make sure it's
4 foot
sufficient for
around?
your purposes. I have
Yeah.
I'll make it.
big dogs myself, and I know how they can jump.
Yeah. I mean, my one job's he's pretty jumpy, but we'll figure it out.
4 feet will do it.
All around, 4 feet?
Yeah. I mean, if that appeases to the neighbors and I don't want to make anybody mad in my neighborhood, I just moved in. So yeah.
I have a question.
All right.
Is the board asking for a 4-foot all the way around or just
It's,
on
it's up to
Creekview?
him and what he wants.
Okay.
I'll just do 4. Let's
4
just
foot
call
all
it
the
even
way
and say 4 around the fence.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do we need to do an amendment to the petition then?
No, no, you can
part of the
place that as a condition.
That it be 4 feet? Okay. All right. Thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Whereas the zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings. That this area variance for a single-family residence according to part 617.5 C17 of the New York State Code Rules and Regulations is a type 2 action and has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment, therefore is not subject to secret review. That no undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by granting the area variance relief sought because an adjoining property has a similar fence. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting the area variance relief sought. That the benefit sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought. That the requested area variance is not substantial. That the proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. That the alleged difficulty is self-created, but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought. That this board has taken into consideration the benefits to the applicant if the variance relief sought is granted as weighted to the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or district. That within the intents and purposes of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum necessary to afford relief, and the ZBA is granting a 1-foot variance for this fence. I'm saying, sure, as a condition. Because since it says the ZBA can grant approval that is absolutely necessary, which may not be 100, so I will make a motion to grant 33.33% of the variance requested. Whatever you write down, I'll start talking again when you stop writing.
I already have that.
Okay. That such fence will not unduly shut out light or air to adjoining properties. That such fence will not create a fire hazard by reason of its construction or location.
Okay, motion, Mr. Storr.
Second.
Second, Mr. Michaely. Thank you. Roll call vote?
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michaely?
Yes.
Mr. Storr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zilli?
Yes.
Chairman Monticelli?
Yes. All right, you have a variance for 1 foot on your fence, and you just meet with the building department to go from there.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you, you're welcome. Okay, Ms. Terranova, will you read the next case, which is actually labeled case number 1 for 2 Signal Drive?
This case considered by the zoning board of appeals is the petition of Lexus and Emily, 2 Signal Drive, Lancaster, New York, for 1 variance for the purpose of installing a privacy fence in a front yard setback on premises owned by the petitioner at 2 Signal Drive, Lancaster, New York, to wit, a variance from the requirement of chapter 400 zoning, section 34, subsection C of the code of the town of Lancaster. The request calls for constructing a 6-foot tall privacy fence in a front yard setback. Chapter 400 zoning, section 34, subsection C of the code of the town of Lancaster requires within non-industrial districts, no fence or wall other than a necessary retaining wall over 3 feet in height shall extend into the front yard of any lot. The petitioner therefore requests a 3-foot variance.
Thank you. Hi, come on up. Give us your name and address, please.
Alexis Mamalady, 2 Signal Drive.
Thank you. Tell us about your request.
So mine is a little unique as the fence is already installed. And so I am here to ask for a 3-foot variance as we were unaware that Erie Street, which is the side road that the fence is on, was considered a front yard setback. I was unaware of this. I'm a first-time homebuyer at age 28 and was trusting the local Lancaster Fence Company with their experience to provide guidance around this or recommendations. I did bring photos of what the fence looks like now.
Okay, sure.
So I have a couple that you guys can pass around.
Thank you.
So you can see how far away it is from the street, and then the third photo shows what it looks like from the street view.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring more copies.
That's fine. It's fine. And don't feel bad, I didn't know about this front yard setback thing until I joined the board.
Well, I
It
appreciate
is
that,
not
thank
common
you.
knowledge. Thank you.
Everything homeownership is new for me right now, so I'm learning as I go. I do also want to note that I was provided a building permit and did bring that with me in case, I bet you guys have a copy, but in case you wanted to see that.
Okay.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, we'll take questions from the board. Mr. Michaely?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So normally our code enforcement officer would be here.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the permit. How did this permit go, Jennifer? Do you know how this permit got issued?
It looks like there was a misunderstanding with the fence company from her application, that
Yes.
they thought the setback was 30 feet from the edge of the road. But I cannot answer how the building permit was issued.
Do you have a copy of it? You said-
The building permit?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it was a misunderstanding that, so was it an issue where the fence company didn't put it where? Because I know that if they applied, I think if they applied for a permit, thank you, for the fence to be in this area where it is, it should be denied. And you would get one of these notices, which you later got a notice of determination that it's not allowed. This was just issued 5/8/25 this year.
Yes.
Fence meets second front yard.
So while the fence contractors were at my house, Ronald Capozzi was the code enforcer who came to my house. Actually had the opportunity to speak to them
Yeah.
while on the premises. And he stopped back a few more times afterwards and then determined, or I figured out on his fourth time, after the fence was already installed, that he deemed it not up to code.
So you applied, you were trying to do the right thing. You applied, or the fence company applied for a permit.
I applied for the
You applied
permit.
for
I was in here, and I actually called the contractors, the fence contractors, while I was downstairs receiving the building permit, and had the lead contractor talk to the two women who were downstairs, who both ended up determining that I was eligible for the building permit.
Right, right.
So I did everything in my power to
Yeah.
follow
Okay.
town code.
Thank you, I have no more questions.
What's that? This meets the second front yard setback. I've never heard of that.
I don't know, the second front yard setback, I don't know.
Seems like they knew that it was gonna be in a joining front yard.
Now, Jennifer, do you know what a second front yard setback is?
I think that's meant to be the side yard?
Okay.
Would it normally be stated as a side yard?
Right, that's confusing language.
Does it show who signed that?
No.
Based on the one
Yeah.
photo, so we only put a fence on one side of the yard, so maybe, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. There's a fence on the other side, and then there was already a fence previously across the back. So we just added one up the side and then a gate towards the house.
Okay.
So I don't know if that is the second setback. You guys will know more than me. I have no idea.
Don't count it.
Interesting.
I'm all set.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Storr?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Looks like you tried to do the right thing. Thank you for that. No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Tillmans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Tillmans. Mr. Zelak?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't really have a question, I got more of a statement, just so you're aware of the easement in your backyard.
Yes, if there was any issues, I know that's up to my own dollar to take care of any
Yep.
issues.
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Matthews?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone in the audience have any comments or questions on this matter?
I do want to note that I approached all of my neighbors within 100 feet with, I think you recommended that, Diane, to me, and they all said it was perfectly fine. My side neighbor, which it doesn't affect her, it doesn't affect anyone, but the neighbor behind me as well, and then everyone in 100 feet, she gave me a list of names, and I went to every house.
Good, that's important. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone on the board have anything further?
I'll make a motion. Whereas the zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance for a single-family residence according to part 617.5 C17 of the New York State Codes, Rules, and Regulations is a type 2 action, has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment, therefore is not subject to secret review. That no undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by granting the area variance relief sought. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting the area variance relief sought, because there are no joining properties to the fenced side.
Thank you.
That the benefit sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought, because she properly applied for a building permit. That the requested area variance is not substantial, that the proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district, that the alleged difficulty is self-created, but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought, that this board has taken into consideration the benefit of the applicant if the variance relief sought is granted as weighted against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. That within the intended purposes of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum necessary to afford relief. That this such fence will not unduly shut out light or air to adjoining properties, and that such fence will not create a fire hazard by reason of its construction or location.
I'm sorry, is it on an easement, or we don't know that?
It is already built on an easement, and she
It already is.
she already acknowledged that.
I will cover the cost if there's any issue with the easement that it needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, motion, Mr. Storr, and second, Mr. Michaely. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michaely?
Yes.
Mr. Storr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zayla?
Yes.
Chairman Monticelli?
Yes. All right, you are all set. Just follow up with the building permit and see if there's anything else you want.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good
Very
night.
welcome. You too.
And Robert, I did hear you have a new one. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yes, the zoning board has a new baby. Bob
6 weeks
Matthews-
old today.
Bob Matthews.
Have a good night,
His wife
everyone.
had a baby girl. So, congratulations. Okay, the next matter before the board is 201 Stony Road. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is
Hello, we
Will.
just need to ask the clerk to read the legal
Oh, yeah.
notice. Thank you.
The next case considered by the zoning board of appeals is that of petition of William Cezak, 6030 Newton Road, Orchard Park, New York, for one variance for the purpose of installing a rear patio roof on premises owned by Carlo Perfetto and Dominica Kingsland of 201 Stony Road, Lancaster, New York, with variance from the requirements of Chapter 400 zoning Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B, the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for installing a rear patio roof with a 25-foot rear yard setback. Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires a minimum rear yard setback of 35 feet from the property line, or if an easement exists, from the edge of the easement, whichever is more restrictive. Petitioner therefore requests a variance of 10 feet.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is William Cezak, architect representing the owners. We're requesting a rear yard setback. The setback currently falls within about 4 foot 3 inches of the existing residence, which obviously wouldn't allow any type of patio, porch, any type of structure in the rear yard setback. With the fact that they have an existing pool, which was existing before they owned the house. They're looking for the covered patio for entertainment and just some protection from the elements. And any questions?
Okay, thank you. We will start with Mr. Storr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No questions at this time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tillmans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Zelak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Okay, Mr. Michaely?
Thank you, no questions.
I have no questions either. Okay, and how about the audience? Anyone here wishing to speak to this request? All right. There being none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Whereas zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance for a single-family residence according to part 617.5 C17 of the New York State Codes, Rules, and Regulations, the type 2 action has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment, therefore is not subject to seeker review, that no undesirable changes will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by granting the area variance relief sought. Because several neighbors have, because it is going to increase property values because it will be nice.
Thank you.
That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting the area variance relief sought, that the benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought, that the requested area variance is not substantial, that the proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, that the alleged difficulty is self-created but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought, that this board has taken into consideration the benefit to the applicants if the area variance relief sought is granted as weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant, that with the intent and purpose of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the absolute minimum necessary to afford relief.
Thank you. Motion, Mr. Storr. Do we have a second? Second, Mr. Tillmans. Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Starr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zeta?
Yes.
Chairman Monticello?
Yes. Congratulations, your variance is approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a nice night, everyone.
Thank you, you do the same. All right, moving right along to 6139 Broadway Street. Mr. Arnova, would you read us that case, please?
The next case considered by the zoning board of appeals is the petition of Michael and Courtney Caputo, 6139 Broadway Street, Lancaster, New York, for one variance for the purpose of installing a temporary pavilion structure on premises owned by the petitioners at 6139 Broadway Street, Lancaster, New York, to wit. A variance from the requirements of Chapter 400 zoning section 13, subsection C, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for installing a temporary pavilion structure 5 feet from a side property line. Chapter 400 zoning section 13, subsection C, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires a minimum of 15 feet from the side lot line. The petitioners therefore request a variance of 10 feet.
Thank you. And do we have a representative of Broadway? Hi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Caputo at 6139 Broadway Street, right up the road. Just asking for the variance of 10 feet because if I push it out 10 more feet, it's going to be right in my leach line for the septic, and obviously I can't do that.
I'm curious, why temporary?
The roof, it doesn't have the 50-inch square foot for the snow, so I got to take the panels off, which is simple. It's just a couple of
Snow load.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. All right, questions from the board, starting with Mr. Tillmans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Tillmans. Mr. Zelak?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just noticed that you have a letter from your neighbor saying that there's no concerns with her. Thank you.
Yeah. Is that Kate or Valerie?
Valerie. Yeah. Thank you.
There's 3 letters from his neighbors.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Mr. Michael?
Thank you. Just statements that thank you, you did the right things. You went through the Department of Health for the septic system.
Everything we could.
DOT, why was the DOT? I know it's a state road. What?
Right, it's the highway. Yeah.
I know, so anything at all on the state highway, so you had to go through the Department of Health, DOT. You got letters from neighbors, so thank you for doing all that. I have no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Michael, yeah, I noticed the 2 of the 3 letters are from the neighbors on either side of the
Right.
property, so you got that covered. Okay, anyone in the audience wishing to address this request? All right, there being none, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Motion, Mr. Tillmans.
Whereas the zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance for the single-family residence according to part 617.5C17 of the New York State Codes, Rules, and Regulations is a type 2 action and has been determined not to have significant impact on the environment. Therefore, it is not subject to a secret review. That no undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by the granting of the area variance relief sought. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance relief sought. That the benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought due to a leach bed further in the backyard.
Is that a question?
No, we need to have a reason for approving it. So.
Oh,
Just waiting for her to catch up.
Thank you.
That the requested area variance relief is not substantial, that the proposed area variance relief will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, that the alleged difficulty is self-created but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought. This board has taken into consideration the benefit to the applicants if the variance relief sought is granted as weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. That within the intent and purposes of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum variance necessary to afford relief.
Thank you. Motion, Mr. Tillman. Second, Mr. Storr. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michaeli?
Yes.
Mr. Storr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Saleh?
Yes.
Chairman Monticelli?
Yes. You are all set. Just follow up with the building department.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. Mr. Matthews, congratulations. I got a 5-month-old son myself, man. It's awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, the next matter before the board is 635 Harris Hill Road. Ms. Terranova, will you read us that matter?
Yes. The next case considered by the zoning board of appeals is that of the petition of Brian Davis, 635 Harris Hill Road, Lancaster, New York, for 2 variances for the purpose of constructing a residential accessory structure on premises owned by the petitioner at 635 Harris Hill Road, Lancaster, New York, to wit. A variance for the requirements of Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for constructing a 22-foot, 6-inch tall residential accessory structure. Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires a maximum building height of 16 feet. The petitioner therefore requests a 6-foot, 6-inch variance. B, a variance for the requirements of Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for constructing a 2,560 square foot residential accessory structure. Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires a maximum building size of 750 square feet. The petitioner therefore requests a 1,810 square foot variance.
Thank you. Mr. Davis, you want to come on up? And we just need your name and address for the record, please.
Brian Davis, 635 Harris Hill Road.
Thank you. Tell us about your project.
So what I'm looking for is a variance for a garage to store. Me and my family are into a lot of antique cars, tractors, anything that has to do with pretty much motors. So by putting a building in on my property, I have secured the vehicles versus trying to find somewhere else to store them, because a lot of these vehicles are summer vehicles. We do a lot of camping, and the reason for the height would be because of the trailers. Now with the air conditionings and stuff like that, I need that for the header to be able to get the trailer in there. And down the road, if we ever get to that point where I want to retire, my kids already threatened me that they're not leaving the house and they're not going to sell it. We could come and maybe buy a motorhome and do like real families and go away and stop in and mess up their house. So this is a reason for the size of it. I have cars, and in fact, we met earlier today. I have cars across the street. My neighbors are great around me, and they're like going, yeah, you could use my garage. And I park, during the winter, I park in her driveway, and we take care of the lady down the road, and she's like, anytime you want to use, so I'm jostling stuff all the time. And that's the reason, when I moved in there almost 21 years ago, the back, we call it the back 40, is just a flat grass. And it was great for the neighbors or the kids to run, play. Now it's flat grass that I gotta cut. And now they're getting older and they're getting vehicles and, like I said, lawnmowers and stuff like that. My garage isn't large enough, and my lot is on a corner where my driveway is actually on Bradley. The front of my house is on Harris Hill, and the backyard is back behind. It's kind of a weird setup. But now it's just sitting there as you're paying taxes on grass that I can't really do a whole lot with unless I want to farm it again like the people I bought it from.
All right. I was out at the property today and spoke with Mr. Davis. My first thought was that this is a really significant request in terms of what he's requesting as opposed to what the zoning code allows. Although, having seen his situation, you got a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
kind of all
I
over
got,
the
you know,
place.
golf carts, and, you know, like I said, we do a lot of camping, and then the tractors and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then cars.
And you've got a fairly substantial garage there, right? And, I mean, an attached garage, and then a smaller pole barn, and a shed. You said that the shed was
Yeah, the
gonna
shed's
go.
going away.
Yeah. But then a very, very large area to put the proposed pole barn. So, okay, so that's my 2 cents. But let's go to Mr. Zelak.
I had gone, one of the ladies in your office says to get letters from your neighbors. So I went around to all my neighbors, and they all says, go for it, you know, try to get it. The one gentleman across from us, literally, he rents that. He's rented it, you know, I think he moved out in '78 or something when he got married. And he lives out in like Eden or 18 Mile Creek. I don't know if you're familiar out that way. And they're like, yeah, go for it, you know. I have no problem with that. So everybody that, the 10 people or 9 people that were all around me all says, you know, that it's not going to affect them. And like I said, behind me, I think it's number 1 on Bradley, which would be not my house because I'm facing this way. Their backyard shoots through kind of behind my backyard. That all they have is a shed there, and then there's woods prior to that. We're kind of like we're Blackstone, the big. It's so that's all that whole kind of wooded section. But it's not going to block anybody's vision because it's going to be facing Harris Hill. When I talked to the county about if I bring a driveway in that way, they're like, yeah, no problem, it's a $50 permit. He goes, there's nothing there to restrict you, crush, damage coming off of Harris Hill because they're a county road, I think. Other than that, there's been nothing, and then the trees kind of block the whole front of that. You know, trees that I would take out to get a driveway, but they're all a burden. I don't know, they got barbs on them. The one storm we got, they got, I've been fighting them for about 4 or 5 years, cutting them down because they're root bearing. So they just keep coming up, cutting up, and they just keep going. And they grow within years' time, they'll be 15, 20 feet high. So I don't know if you ever drove down Harris Hill, you kind of know where I'm, down the slope there where all the pine trees are. It's like a hedgerow of them. And I've trimmed them up and cleaned them. So people could, because when I bought the place, we had a hard time coming out of Bradley to see traffic coming. So I raised all the dead branches and made it look nice, and so everybody could see through there. But that garage is going to sit basically way behind my house.
I would note that we do have statements from, 9 neighbors, and then someone who resides on South Creek Road in Hamburg. Does
Yes.
that person have a property?
That's on the list, that's one homeowners.
Okay,
Those are the ones I talked about, 18 Mile Creek.
okay,
They're on the opposite side.
okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, Mr. Zelak?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we noted that you had multiple signatures. That's excellent. Thank you very much for that. You work on multiple vehicles and automotive items. Do you plan on selling any of your?
No, these are all private for us. I've been a mechanic since I've been on Big Wheel, if you believe that, and that's no lie. Drive my Big Wheel, and a gentleman was working on his car, we started talking. Hey, come here, you got a little hand. And that's where it all started. So I try to instill in my kids that I don't need you to fix what I have. As a matter of fact, when Miss Monticello came over, we were actually repairing a washing machine. You know, it's a
I understand that.
$10 coupling, but it's not for resale, not to run a service or a repair shop out of it. It is strictly to keep our stuff under a secure and enclosed area.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zelak. Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Michaeli?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I love the part of your application where you're talking about you want to teach your boys and continue to teach your boys a trade. My first thought before I kept going through the application when I was reading it this week was, man, this is kind of big. There's no neighbors around. So then I love the fact that you did a great job. Great job. Thank you for getting letters, as it's been said, from every neighbor who was impacted. 2 questions though. Are you pouring a driveway? How are you going to access this? Because it's pretty
From
big house.
Harris Hill.
So you're going to have to get a new curb cut from Harris Hill?
There's no curbs on that road.
There's no, oh, okay, but so it's not a curb.
Regardless, it's still a curb cut, even if
Yeah.
there's no curb there.
Okay.
The county says that there's no, he says that we don't even have to come in there and do anything.
Okay.
There's nothing to come in to that road.
As someone that got slapped on the wrist, even without being curb there, that's the phrasing for it, curb cut. If you're adding a new entry
Okay.
to a road, I would look into that with the building department and transportation, DOT. I don't know who would,
County.
Erie County.
Erie County Highway.
because even if there's not a curb there, creating a new entry point to a road is called a curb cut.
Okay.
And they'll slap you with a letter of noncompliance if you do it without talking to them first.
Okay.
Even though there's no curb on my street, I expanded my driveway and stole it.
Yeah, there was, just for so recently, I said they're plastic cars, so you don't want to be driving over.
Oh, I get it.
And right now, it would be a stone, but like I said, when I went to, I think it said on Salt. Is that where the county is, the Salt Road? You can
Cemetery?
finish?
Yeah.
Those-
I'm sure that our building department can give you the contact information
Yeah.
for that.
And they, because they says, because that's county and this is town, there's different, applications and permits that you gotta go through. And he says, yeah, that's no problem.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
I believe it.
Do you and the boys do any collision work or just under the hood mechanic?
Right now, this is my son here, he's 15 years old and we're doing a 65 T-Bird right now for him. That's his first car. And then my other son is about a 69 Lincoln Mark III. And then I have a 47 DeSoto at my mother's house in Chickawaga. I also have a 92 Jaguar that I kind of pro stocked in one way. That's in my neighbor's yard. We all have motorcycles. We do a lot of camping, so this was the reason to take all this stuff and kind of get it, and then I have landscape trailer, for moving stuff around. And then right now, I leave it outside. I have to cover it, cover the wheels. And I just put brand new tires on them because with the sun, it bakes the tires. And so, securely, it's just going to be,
So do you do body work? I'm sorry, is what I'm trying to ask.
not really as a,
Okay.
like sanding and all that kind of stuff. No, not as a,
I was just thinking about noise, and your neighbors seem to have signed off on it anyway. And just to reiterate one thing, that anytime we do give a variance that has to do with a garage or a pole barn, there's automatically there'll be something on here saying that no commercial enterprises can be conducted there.
yes,
So, okay.
totally understood.
Yep, thank you. I have no more questions.
Thank you, Mr. Michaeli. Mr. Stewart, do you have anything else?
No, Madam Chair.
Mr. Tillman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just, more of a statement. I know initially, I think when I looked at this project, I was comparing it to a similar case we had last year that was basically on the same road, similar size. But, I think the thing that you did was you went above and beyond and had your neighbors write those letters, and you discussed the project with them and to make sure that we were aware of that, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zelak.
I started, thank
You started, okay. All right, very good. Anyone in the audience have any questions or comments? There being none, do we have a motion? I'll do it. Whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance for a single-family residence, according to Part 617.5C17 of the New York State Code's Rules and Regulations, is a Type 2 action and has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment. Therefore, it is not subject to a seeker review. That no undesirable change will be provided in the character of the neighborhood by the granting of the area variance relief sought, in that The proposed pole barn will house multiple items that are now scattered around the property.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance relief sought. And in fact, the petitioner has provided 10 statements from surrounding neighbors in support of his requested project. That the benefit sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought due to the number of objects that need to be housed. That the requested area variance relief is not substantial, that the proposed area variance relief will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, that the alleged difficulty is self-created, but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought. That this board has taken into consideration the benefit of the applicants if the variance relief sought is granted is weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. That within the intent and purposes of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum variance necessary to afford relief. That no commercial enterprise other than those permitted by Chapter 400 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster be conducted on the premises. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Zielak, thank you. Roll call vote?
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Storr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zailer?
Yes.
Chairman Monticelli?
Yes. Congratulations, your request is granted and you just need to follow up with the building department.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Good luck.
Yep.
Okay, the next matter, 6149 Genesee Street. Would you read the case, please?
The next case considered by the zoning board of appeals is that of petition of Sean Curry, Genesee Family Farm LLC, 6149 Genesee Street, Lancaster, New York, for one variance for the purpose of installing a fence in a front yard setback on premises owned by the petitioner at 6149 Genesee Street, Lancaster, New York, to wit, a variance from the requirements of Chapter 400 zoning, Section 34, subsection C of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for constructing a 4-foot, 9-inch tall fence in the front yard setback. Chapter 400 zoning, Section 34, subsection C of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires within non-industrial districts no fence or wall other than a necessary retaining wall over 3 feet in height shall extend into the front yard of any lot. Petitioner therefore requests a 1-foot, 9-inch variance.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the board, and especially Ms. Terranova and her staff for being very helpful, as well as Matt Ficione and his staff. I do work throughout Western New York, and while this is a personal matter, it's always a pleasure to work with people here. It's very efficient and just a good place to work. Thank you very much,
They are
all of
wonderful.
you.
Thank you. Just need your name and address.
Yes, Kevin Curry and 4272 Roxbury Drive, Harris Hill. I'm here on behalf of my son, Sean Curry, and his girlfriend, and they are just beginning to build a home at 6149 Genesee. They have 2 horses, and the purpose of this fence is to serve as a horse fence as part of the pasture. I would like to make sure entered in the record is the entire application, but you know, in an effort of respect for your time and everybody's time, I won't read all that into the record unless you wanted me to. So thank you, and I'd be happy to elaborate more. As you know, the code for a residential area is 3 feet for a front yard fence. In order to be safe, we believe it needs to be 4'9". Adjacent to us is a 10-foot berm in front of town property, 5-foot brick wall in front of the Fox Valley property, and also in the area are some fences that, front yard fences that certainly exceed the 3-foot code as well. I would note, I think, amongst many, a reason for this and to be located here is because other areas of the property, the topography and nature of the land isn't conducive for horses in that area. So we're really proud with the property, and I think that John and Jess are going to do an excellent job, and they'll be great residents. We've been doing a lot of work, and he's going to build this with his own hands, and certainly appreciate your consideration. Glad to answer any questions.
Very well, thank you. We'll start back with Mr. Matthews.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you. Michael.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just impressed that we're getting a little horse residents out there, and I think it's a perfect spot.
Thank you.
Really within the town, where else can it go? So
Do we know how many horses we have in town?
I don't know. Are there any other horses in town that we know of? Are there? Probably not. Yeah. Westwood? Yeah, that's true. No questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Storr?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is going right next to Fox Valley. Is it, by any chance, are you or your son taking down that old abandoned house right next to Fox Valley, or?
No, that belongs to Fox Valley, and I should have mentioned too, Sean has spoke with the owners there, and I think over time has established a nice relationship. They're in support of this, my understanding, and we have talked to him a little bit about that property, and as my son does home improvements now, we'd be more than happy to do something with him.
It's all good. So your son owns all the land on the other side of Ellicott Creek, opposite of Fox Valley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a couple golf balls over there. Feel free to give them back whenever you find
I
them.
might have a couple in the truck.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Storr. Mr. Tillmans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Lapp?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Okay. I don't have any questions either. So, is there anyone in the audience who'd care to speak on this issue? There being none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Motion, Mr. Storr.
Whereas zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance for a single-family residence according to part 617.5C17 of the New York State Codes, Rules, and Regulations, the type 2 action has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment, therefore it is not subject to a secret review, that no undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by granting me the area variance relief sought, because I believe this will be a desirable change. You're welcome. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance relief sought. That the benefit sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought. That the requested area variance is not substantial. That the proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district. That the alleged difficulty is self-created, but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought. That this board has taken into consideration the benefit to the applicant if the variance relief sought is granted as weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. That with the intent and purpose of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum necessary to afford relief. That such fence will not unduly shut out light to adjoining properties, and that such fence will not create a fire hazard by reason of its construction or location.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Matthews. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michaely?
Yes.
Mr. Storr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zilak?
Yes.
Chairman Monticelli?
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
You're
I should have
very
mentioned too, they're out of town at a wedding, and that's why they weren't here.
Oh.
Otherwise, they would have.
The application is excellent.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Excuse me, Madam Chair, can we get the air conditioner turned off? We got the condensate lines running down the wall over here.
Oh,
You don't want a water snake?
Well, I looked down at my paper, and my paper was
yeah.
a little splatter on her.
We finally get it done.
See that? Thank you.
Take one for the team, baby.
Yeah.
One of I was coughing, the water spraying on me.
Swear can't have nice things.
Now we have to be hot.
Yeah.
You are, yes.
Okay, and the next case is 35 Woodgate. And is there someone here from Woodgate? There is not. Okay. All right, skipping ahead to the 8th case, 39 Sterling Place. Okay. All right, and Ms. Terranova, will you read this one, please, 39
Case
Sterling?
considered by the zoning board of appeals is that a petition of Paul Hutchings, 39 Sterling Place, Lancaster, New York, for one variance for the purpose of constructing a rear patio roof extension on premises owned by Paul and Jessica Hutchings at 39 Sterling Place, Lancaster, New York, to wit. A variance in accordance of Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B, the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for constructing a rear patio roof extension 10 feet from the rear property line. Chapter 400 zoning, Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B, the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires a minimum of 35 feet from the property line. Petitioner therefore requests a 25-foot variance.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. I'm Paul Hutchings, I'm homeowner for 39 Sterling Place.
Okay. Tell us about your project.
Yes, just looking to add a covered patio in our backyard, similar to some of what our neighbors have. This would provide extra relief from the sun for people like myself that don't enjoy the sun as much. But this is also to benefit around our pre-existing pool.
I'm sorry, around
To benefit around our pre-existing pool.
pool. Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Michaely?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Michaely. Mr. Storr?
Thank you, Madam Chair, no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Tillmans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Mr. Zeliak?
Thank you, Madam Chair, I have no questions.
And Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Okay, and I
I
have
did have
no
one question,
questions.
actually. Did you happen to talk to any of your neighbors?
I have. I've talked to both of them on both my sides that would be the most visible impact.
Yep.
And both were aware and had nothing.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, no
That's
questions, thank
good.
you.
Fine, thank you. All right, and I do not have any questions either. Anyone in the audience wishing to address this request? There being none, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Mr. Tillmans, thank you.
Whereas the zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance relief for a single-family residence according to part 617.5 C17 of the New York State Codes, Rules and Regulations is a type 2 action and has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment. Therefore, it is not subject to a seeker review. That no undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by the granting of the area variance relief sought. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance relief sought. That the benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought due to the size and shape of the lot. that the requested area variance relief is not substantial, that the proposed area variance relief will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, that the alleged difficulty is self-created but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought, that this board has taken into consideration the benefit to the applicant if the variance relief sought is granted as weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant, that within the intent and purposes of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum variance necessary to afford relief.
Thank you. Motion, Mr. Tillmans, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Michaeli. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michaeli?
Yes.
Mr. Storr?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zelik?
Yes.
Chairman Maniscalco?
Yes. Mr. Hutchings, you are all set. Just follow up with the building department.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too. Okay, Ms. Terranova, will you read case number 9, please, 29 Kennedy Court?
This case is considered by the zoning board of appeals. Is laid at the petition of Nicholas and Michael Limpert, 29 Kennedy Court, Lancaster, New York, for one variance for the purpose of installing a residential accessory structure on premises owned by the petitioners at 29 Kennedy Court, Lancaster, New York, to wit, a variance from the requirements of Chapter 400, zoning Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. The request calls for installing a residential accessory structure 5 feet 9 inches from a primary structure. Chapter 400, zoning Section 14, subsection D, Schedule B of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires an accessory structure to be a minimum of 10 feet from a primary structure. The petitioner therefore requests a 4-foot 3-inch variance.
Thank you. Good evening. Give us your name and address, please.
Good evening. Mike Limpert, 29 Kennedy Court.
Okay, Mr. Limpert, and tell us a little bit about your project.
Well, I'd like a variance to put a shed on the side of my house because I'm kind of overwhelmed with snowblower and bicycles and children and grandchildren and four-wheel drives and just trying to get the clutter out of my garage.
Okay. And do you have a size in mind for the shed?
I'm quite sure it's an 8x8 or 8x10.
Okay.
My daughter-in-law bought it, and it's in boxes.
Okay. All right. Let's see, where did we leave off? What? Just pick. Okay. Mr. Tillman, start us off.
Do you know according to what you submitted here, the shed's gonna be 8 by 10. So it's boxed up. Do you know what kind of material it is or what?
I really don't. I haven't seen it. It came in like three long boxes.
Okay.
I'm sure it's probably vinyl or maybe aluminum.
Okay. I have no other questions at this moment.
Okay. Do let us know. Mr. Zelik?
Thank you, Madam Chair. You have an odd-shaped lot, so you kind of really only have one area really to put the shed, correct?
I'm sorry.
Your lot is an odd shape, right?
Yeah.
This is really the only area you can actually put the shed that's reasonable, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Michaeli?
I just said to Mrs. Matthews that your lot is shaped like a church.
Yeah.
It really is. So, I mean, there's not much room to do much of anything, so I have no questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Storr?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to just point out, we granted you a variance a couple years ago for a 6-foot fence going down the side of your property line.
Yes.
So this shouldn't impact your neighbors by any means. The new fence doesn't show up on the Google images or Google Maps yet, but I have no further questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. And anyone in the audience have any questions or comments? Okay, there being none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Save the day.
Whereas zoning board of appeals of the town of Lancaster has made the following findings, that this area variance for a single-family residence according to part 617.5C17 of the New York State Codes, Rules, and Regulations is a type 2 action, has been determined not to have a significant impact on the environment, therefore is not subject to seeker review. That no undesirable changes will be produced in the character of the neighborhood by granting the area variance relief sought. That no detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting the area variance relief sought, because an 8x10 shed will not cause detriment to neighboring properties. That the benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance relief sought. That the area variance relief sought is not substantial. That the proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. That the alleged difficulty is self-created, but not to the extent necessary to preclude the granting of the area variance relief sought due to the shape of his property. Sorry. Had to keep you on your toes, throw 2 in on that one.
Good. Thank you.
That this board is taking into consideration the benefit of the applicant if the variance relief sought is granted as weighted against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. That with the intent and purposes of this ordinance, the variance relief sought, if granted, is the minimum variance necessary to afford relief. That no commercial enterprise, that's for garages. Okay, that's it.
All set?
Yep.
Okay. Motion, Mr. Stewart.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Zelak. Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Short?
Yes.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Mr. Zalak?
Yes.
Chairman Monacelli?
Yes. Okay, your variance request
Thank you very
is
much.
granted. You're very welcome. Good luck.
Enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
million.
The same. Good night.
Night.
Okay. Just to verify, you folks are not here on the Woodgate case? No. You are not? Okay. Pardon?
Oh,
Apparently, yeah, future.
see if-
See you next month?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Fun way to spend a Thursday.
Date night.
we were nice
We got some
tonight.
good applications tonight.
That's right.
What?
So we got some really good applications tonight.
We had a good group
Very-
tonight. They were all prepared.
very
Very good group. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, they were a good group.
Diane's office does a great job.
Number 7 is not prepared.
Yeah.
Number 7, one didn't show up wasn't prepared. So we what do we do with them? Do we adjourn?
It's a no-show. We'll send them a letter that they, since they didn't come, it's over. If they do call me tomorrow and say, oh, we forgot, they will have to pay for another legal.
And they have time to get
And
on next
then-
month? Too late?
That's it, then we got one more, right?
Yeah, this is the bigger election.
Two and done.
Right.
Make sure you show up next month.
Okay, before we close for the evening, I was just thinking today, visiting these properties, I had an experience last month where I was looking around, nobody was home, I was looking around the yard, and I heard this voice speaking to me, so a woman's voice, I thought she was inside the house, you know, and it's, may I help you, and what are you doing here, and it would have been nice to have some notice, and as it turned out, she saw me on her Ring doorbell, so that's where the voice was coming from. So with those things being more common, I'm wondering if we could get lanyards or some other kind of
I was
identification.
going to suggest that the Parks and Recreation now, they're making ID badges. And if you want to contact them, or I can, it's up to you. And maybe everybody, you can all go Parks and Rec at a certain, whatever that they determine, and have your picture taken, and then it's laminated.
Okay.
It's a great idea, but I think we should also be careful about trespassing at the same time. Because I had one awkward experience years ago, and I haven't walked on anyone's property since without them being there. I don't know if we should be in this situation of going on.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be walking on anyone's
I don't
property.
think we should be
without
going on anyone's
them.
property.
Yeah, but
You can certainly park at the road
Right.
and view whatever you
Right.
can see from the road.
That's generally, but even walking to the front door, it would be nice to say, hi, I'm Keith Store from the zoning department. Zoning ordinance."
Right,
Absolutely,
right.
100%.
And you can certainly do that. If they ask you to leave,
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
then you
But
should leave.
I read something a couple of years ago in some kind of training about, we do have the right to be there. I think I talked to you, Diane, and you said that when people apply, they are told that someone may be coming out.
They are told.
Should that be written on the application, maybe, just so they can't say they didn't know?
Yep. Sharish also at the same time.
Party bus or something?
If you bring cookies.
I always say, I took Tuesday night. I took a training class one time. I was next to two members from East Aurora, and they go once a month on Saturday. They go
Knock it all together?
breakfast together, and there's actually open meeting laws. But they kind of
Correct, because if you're conducting town business
Yeah.
as an entity,
Yeah.
that's an open meeting.
So I shouldn't have said what town it was, but yeah, I don't
I
think
didn't hear
that's
that.
really, without yes, I don't think that's really right either. But
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable if they knew ahead of time that
Someone may be coming.
we may be coming.
Right,
And we do have the legal right to be there.
right, you're doing your job. And they've invited you
Right, exactly. They've
by
already
making the
granted us
application.
permission. But yeah, I think some kind of
Close to the
identification.
audience.
For your safety, yes.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so that's me. Anybody else have anything?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I made all the other motions.
You did. Heck of a job you did. All right, I'll second it. Meeting adjourned.
This side of the room.
no, you lost the bet. No. Are you trying to change history here? You said 8:11.
No, I said 8:20. I wrote it down for